Kole ngambulo luku. With whatever we do. Jioni safu nola. With whatever we do. Hale yide munyu skula. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Nyepangiragala gena. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Ibuloke numoto ni beti sola. Ibuloke dato ni betoto.
Bigi Congo.
Lamin.
Na?
Lamin te jibe norin te nyame Lamin.
Kabana wulo kono.
Wulo kono nyinta mo Lamin.
Pabilenki.
Muna ngata afamole.
Haina.
Ngata. Ngoto le. Fabrama.
Mingi. Baba nyola.
Ngoto le Fabrama.
Namu jumala kan kuma diten.
Fabrama.
Jumala mu.
Ndele bare muso.
Nunda mana. Jamani mbere.
Lindo ko.
Jamani.
Bari ngoto man kontande.
Bari jamani fana na mudu wala kontan.
Ngoto minaka ngala min je fon filitala. Lamin jibe nori nyala.
Lamin ila siran sama ne benki. Yala so tol sayni no ko mo lakko momo.
Ngoto.
Nam.
Itedinte yalo ne Lamin hakilo diata bake karamu ngoto. Anu sainteng ministry ko di ngole si suko na amanke ko do holiday
si bitun
bagona de
ala ni ko kede namo balo
ala ni na ko na karta bulo be damen ala ni je
ngodo
nam
ngoto mon kontan feren
jamani mu nekata
ifika Lamin ki wulo ko no nyinta mon ko do fete malo Lamin nyande sila la be la moy kala karango
jamani karamu be soron ne ko fasita wulo ko nako
karambu wol ma soron ni ko karamu wol soron da amanke ko holiday lem ngodo dindi ngo nyanta sila la ala karango la moy yamen kamen fue man kontan anda mande
alla nyin kombo courant adanda la kombo len do la jankara mol soron daro kamen courant ma daro la kombo e ko ndol fanena kara mol soron je kara mol soron Lamin adara lo nyino la amanta ra fena sokon ala munekela
Lamin ite foyde malon kon lesinol be ke kar radio to
nga fine
e ko nyani mo Lamin ya muna fonye
bi kabin mina kan ntambita nteri maning Fatu ndambite la sukol ala dinngol bebe siri be la moyka
Fatou dan so am fana tambira jele ni subala la ngaje dinngol be jet talanta nen kili waro e be seri jelet
sa Lamin fadante ku kili wo ke no la ba Lamin bita ka wulo ko no nyinta mo Lamin
amandara fenela
ite dine ko ni man si yakari lesino la moy radio to e balon na
muneka ke afende ba nyaara ni alon
telentel jikot
afende ba munebe ke
ite balon tel be jikritel ni man karambe ku kele yaaje nata karana mbasa malaya ay tarije
par ñarande kombo courant ho findira kombo ide na rajede ni sonka bay ko Lamin manyata la wulo ko aru karam wolbe so da fa ñembe
ko to wole nati bawo ngalle ni Lamin kuntala kombo courant o ka fa me kombo courant asototal wala kinay ko e sisu ko no bari ni ko e sisu ko no be karangol dike la radio ni telel to hani tele masoto to nyaay man tele soto la bongo bar radio be bulen ko to batiri sanga ay si ay alamo
sa do kala
nyaadi ko ta o bulaji
abe kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abe wala moy la be mona falaje
ibe la karandirol kala jele
ti talle be radio ko men ka karande
ile subject ro baby jele baby jele
wala nanga coco moy fa dan so wolya ngombe tambi kana ngadi ni wolje be ikadum bungo de ko kada ma
asototal de
Lamin mala be karawala de
bari laftalal ideal on ko inde every year second wala fourth
muna ni ko di ma ko nde ko folle sinila mba ndele sinilo ne ba
say mba foke en koto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat ñu fana bulata ko ko don me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ndel be jiko be nyineka ya bulay kara wulo kana ta kilar ya bambalo yo be bulaje koto dinni ngoy si ayala le sino la moy radio
wara ka munda kara mo man soro Lamin nyanta kara si so na regular
la sila le ayala le sino
ndale ko korno ko smalo
kilar ya
mo be ngala ko momo say mi do ni ko no kera
mengi bruzo
ndale ko la da ba rosa no radio ba no bari woro radio ni abe jele ba do ngamra do man dembe buljan dala nyara nyar wo fram ko fendi mo la Lamin tayra ba rosa
bara te ku folo ajibe nori nya Lamin tamete ku
teku
bari ko do famo ke
ja image nañu ñambol si zol le keje kisgi man si zol no le kafun ka ñowa bari ñambu kino ni mañana ka finde ni nambe ko so la ja
ngalle limbeta de be ñambo do dilanna
ñara nim ko ridin fennat ñara nata
bari famo ke da
ngata bungono tambi bungono ñara mel ngando ko fele ko ke baru nganda ni pelo la ndija
iyo awa betar la
bungono bismillah bisu diara
Pendulala ye fongo tanka sina dolu tanka koro ta koro ta
Good morning, viewers and listeners. Once again, is your friend Alaji SMU come to give you your second lesson in economics. But before we start the second lesson, in our previous lesson, you were given a question as an assignment to work on.
In that we're not able to fly out of optimistic that we will get clearance.
So that is the one I will solve with you. You compare with your work to see whether what you have done is right or wrong. So I'm assuming that as at now, all of you have gone through the question. But notwithstanding, still now, we'll show you the question and before we go to the solution. So here the question says the table below shows the scale of preference of a student, Mr. Smith, whose disposable income is $7. Use the information in the table to answer the questions. So the table is the scale of preference of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is a student. So his scale of preference, the first choice he has there is textbook. The second choice is a shirt. The textbook is costing $5. The shirt is costing $2. Followed by shoes, which is costing $3. Followed by a trouser, which is costing $3. We have the notebook, which is costing $1. So the questions which are asked is one, we say, what will Mr. Smith spend his money on? And we are asked to explain the answer in question 2, A Roman 1. B, what is the opportunity cost of Mr. Smith's decision? And we are, that is what? The opportunity cost on 2A Roman 1. And Roman 2, we are asked to explain that answer in 2B Roman 1. C, if Mr. Smith's disposable income increased to $10, what will he spend it on? What is the opportunity cost of the decision? That is what? When the income increases, which new opportunity cost are you going to have? It says we define scale of preference, which we have done in our previous lessons, and what is the importance of scale of preference. So here in our solution, we have A. At A, we say Mr. Smith will spend his money which is $7 on textbooks and shoes. So when you look at it, those are the first two choices on his scale of preference. And those are the one equated to his $7 because textbook is costing $5 and shirt is costing $2. What is the reason? He says because those are the best choices his income can buy, the best choices which he can buy from his income. So B, he says Mr. Smith's opportunity cost will be shoes, which is costing $3, trouser, which is costing $3, and notebook, which is costing $1. Why is this choice Mr. Smith's opportunity cost? Say because those are his second best choices based on his income. What does that supposed to mean? It means that if at all Mr. Smith does not choose the first two choices to spend on his $7, then those are the three choices he will spend the $7 on. Because if you add the cost of those choices, it will be equated to $7. So C, we have if Mr. Smith's income increases to $10, then he will spend it on what? Shoes. the increment now he will spend it on shoes. So when you add the $7 he spent on textbook and shirt to the $3 which is the cost of the shoes, that's what will give you $10. Then the increment, Mr. Smith will spend it on shoes because that was his third best choice. Now we look at the opportunity cost there. What will be the opportunity cost? So the opportunity cost now will be trousers, books, and school fee. But of course, school fees is going to advance because when you add $3 plus $1 plus $7, that is going to give you $11. But Mr. Smith's income is $10. Put that at the back of your mind. It's $10. But it's possible that Mr. Smith can give an advance of $6 on his school fee. Therefore, hence he could have done that. Then, therefore, the opportunity cost will become the trouser, the notebook, and the school fee. So basically, this was the calculation part of the question. When you look at the other two questions below, those ones we have treated them in our previous lesson, which is what? The importance of opportunity cost and the definition of scale of preference and opportunity cost, the importance of the scale of preference. So if you refer to those ones, then that will not be a problem. But now the calculation part, this is the answers of that assignment. So we thank you very much on that. For those who try, I will thank you very much. Those who don't try, I will also ask you to try next time. Today, we are going to look at the production possibility curve of frontier, which is called in short the PPC or the PPF. So the production possibility curve is the concept of opportunity cost. You know, it is used, is the best way in which the opportunity cost has been explained by economists. So the concept of opportunity cost is best explained in the production possibility curve. So the production possibility curve is a graph showing the combination of different commodities that can be produced in a given economy using available resources and technology. So you will see that here, what we will be doing is we are going to be comparing two commodities that an economy can produce with a given resources. So the production possibility curve is also known as the opportunity cost curve. Put that in mind, bear that in mind. Whenever you hear or see somewhere the opportunity cost curve, know that is referred to the production possibility curve. This is a diagram of the production possibility curve. This is actually the production possibility curve. When we look at the production possibility curve carefully, you will see that points are given. You have the curve, points are allocated on the curve. One is allocated under the curve, another one is allocated above the curve. That's below and above. Point A, B, and C, all of them are on the curve. But you will see that point E is below the curve. And point F is above the curve. Some students, they find it difficult to understand this. When you look at the value given, we have commodity Y and commodity X. We use X and Y because this is telling you that any two commodities can be used. So you see that commodity X is 1 to 10, commodity Y is also 1 to 10. Now, for example, if commodity Y is more expensive than commodity X, which means that you have to forgo commodity Y, for example, 1, and have 2 commodity X. That is what will make the graph concave, as it is. But if the resources or the 2 goods are being produced by the same amount of resources, that is 1 for 1, you will find out that the production possibility curve will become a straight line, because you forgone 1 and add 1. You forgone 1 and add 1. So it becomes a straight line, a straight graph. So don't be confused if you are given a straight line production possibility curve. It doesn't matter. So it is just telling you that these resources, they are used with these 2 goods are produced by equal resources. That's what it means. Now we are coming to look at now in detail the position of the points. We say the PPC have 3 position points. Points located on the curve, points located below the curve, points located above the curve. Each of them mean something, and that is what we are coming to discuss in detail. Points located on the curve, example, point A, B, C, etc. You can have more than that on the curve. Indicate combinations where all the resources in the economy are efficiently utilized. These points are called the attainable and efficient point. Now, this I'm explaining under the concept of an economy. Some students, they find it difficult to understand it at that perspective. But let me bring it down a little bit. As an individual, let me give you a simple example so that you will be able to use that example and extend it to the government level. You as an individual, for example, you are having $10. You are having $10. These $10, you want to buy 2 goods. You want to buy 2 goods. We can say you want to buy pens and you want to buy books with these $10. Now, let's assume that a pen is costing $2. A book is costing $4. So if you have our graph here, we can have pens here and we have books here. Now we have our numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 10. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, books are at our vertical axis, pen are on our horizontal axis. If we choose to buy, for example, 5 books, or let's say we choose to buy 2 books. Let me change the value here. Let me change the amount and make it 20, so that I can have the graph I need. So if we choose to buy 5 books here, then we will not buy any pen, because 5 books is equated to $20. So please, the amount to buy books the cost of the book is more than the cost of the pen, or the cost of the book is 2x the cost of the pen. Now you buy 3 books, you will able to buy 4 pens. If you buy 2 books, you will be able to buy 6 pens. If you don't buy any book, you will be able to buy 8 pens. Now let's look at the points. Going back to the curve I gave you, A, B, C, these points you see now, assume that A is here, B is here, C is here. They are all on the curve because when you look at, if you buy 4 books and 2 pens, your money is finished. Then you have used all your resources. Again, if you come and buy 3 books and 4 pens, your money is finished. Then you have used all your resources. You can buy it, but once you buy it, your money is finished. Then you have used all your resources. But now, let's look at the point under here, where we have 3 books and we have 2 pens. 3 books is how much? $12, isn't it? The 2 pens will be $4 plus 12 will give you 16. Then you have a change of $4. Where do you put it? That's why we say these points under. When you look at them, all of them, each of them, you can buy on those points, but when you look at it, all your resources are not used, then it's not efficient. But now, let's assume that on top of the curve here, let me link this point, I link it with 4 books. When you look at it, the point come here on 4 and goes down to 6 pens. 4 books, a book is costing how much? $4, that is $16. Pens, a pen is costing $2, that is $12. 16 plus 12 is more than 20. Then you cannot buy that. So that is what represent now the points, all these points above the curve. Which means that they are efficient. Yes, it's good, but your resources are not enough to reach there. I understand. So this is what the production possibility curve is highlighting when it goes also to government level. The constraint you face here is the same constraint the government face on the production possibility curve when they are dealing with 2 expenditures, 2 goods, the production of 2 goods. Farms do the same thing. Now, hence we know that, let's look at now our point A. We say it's called attainable and efficient points. They are attainable. Look at them. All of them here using this example. But now point located below the curve here, when you look at them, example point E, which means point E is under here, they are attainable. Because when you produce on those points, all your resources are not used. Some of the resources are wasting. That is why they are called inefficient points. They are attainable but inefficient. That is your point E. You can label it any letter you want. Please don't confuse on the labeling. Different books label it with different letters, but just know what the points represent. That's what matters. If you want, you put Z there. If you want, you put M there. But just know that the point is all below the curve, and points below the curve are always attainable, but they are not efficient. Some books they use feasible. It's the same. Okay? So we go to the third one. Points located above the curve, which is here. Now, based on the diagram I gave you below, now I will put my point F here. You know that based on the example I gave you, the person cannot buy at this level, then those points, they are efficient, they are good. But the problem is, you cannot reach there. There are conditions which can make a person to reach there, which we will discuss in the future. That's where we are dealing with the shifting of the curve. What will cause the curve shift? That is next. So the shift of the production possibility curve. The production possibility curve can shift outwards. What will make the production possibility curve shift outwards is when there is an economic growth. An economic growth, what is an economic growth? Is when the production of the country, when the country can increase their production. We say a shift of the production possibility curve to the right indicates an economic growth, as more resources now have been used to produce commodity A and B. So now they have more resources. Hence they have more resources, they can produce more. They can produce more of A, they can produce more of B. So here, we can assume that when we are looking at government, but when we come to the human being, which I am talking about, which I was talking about here, then your good A will be the books, your good B will be the pens. So the economic growth to the individual now will become when the 20 have changed. For example, the person no more have 20, but the person have $30. If the person have $30, the person can buy more of books and the person can buy more of pens, then you will see that the curve will change outside. That is what indicates the outward shifting. It always indicates an economic growth. An economic growth is when the potential of the economy increases. Now we go to the next shift. When the opposite happened, you know, it shifts outwards previously. But also consider that an economics can also reduce in potential. That's why we say a shift of the production possibility curve to the left indicate an economic recession, because the economy is not producing at a full capacity. So economic recession can be when the economic have gone down, economic degradation. So that's what it means. They have more resources, they can produce more. Now they have less resources, they produce less. So that the less they are producing, it what makes the curve to shift inwards. Let's relate it back to our example. For example, now when the person was having $20, instead of increasing the person's income reduced to $10, then the person could no more buy what he was buying. Then you see that the curve will come down. His buying potential goes down. The same thing applies to the economy. So that is the other shift we have. But we can also have another shift. When there is a shift in one side of the curve, that is when there is a shift towards one commodity. What does that mean? We say a shift of the curve to the right on only one commodity, as it is indicated on the curve, means that more resources are devoted to the production of one commodity than the other. So therefore, that is when government take more resources and devote it in one commodity and leave the other one. You will see that now the production of the other commodity will increase, but the other one will not increase. For example, if I told this person when the income increases, he put more resources on buying, more money on buying pens. You will see that now the curve will shift in the place of the pens, but that of the book will not shift because it doesn't increase production, buying books. That is it. So that's what causes that shift when there is one shift. Now let's use the production possibility curve to explain the opportunity cost. The last time, if you can remember, just some minutes back, I told you that opportunity cost, production possibility curve is also known as the opportunity cost curve. So therefore, we are using the production possibility curve to best explain the opportunity cost. It says increase in the production of one commodity will lead to a decrease in the production of another commodity. The amount of decrease is the opportunity cost as indicated below. That is the curve. So whenever you increase the production in one commodity, you will decrease the production of another commodity. By how much do you decrease the other commodity? Then that is your opportunity cost. That is what you have forgone. You forgone something to increase something. So the amount you forgone, or the quantity when it is in terms of good, the quantity you forgone to increase the quantity in the other good, that becomes your opportunity cost. So now the opportunity cost of producing 20 commodity A is 10 commodity, which is sacrifice. Now when you look at the graph, we have, if you look at the commodity A, if we produce 20 of it, then you will not produce any commodity B. Therefore, the 10 commodity B we sacrificed for producing commodity A, that's what is our opportunity cost. The next is to increase the production of commodity A from 5 to 15. So the opportunity cost is 3 commodity A. To increase the production of commodity A from 5 to 15, the opportunity cost will be 3 commodity B. It should be commodity B, which is sacrifice. If you want to increase the production of commodity A from 5 and goes to 15, you will see on the graph that you will move from 8 and come to 5. You will move from the production of 8 commodity B and come to 5 commodity B. So the difference between 8 and 5, that is your opportunity cost. So that is the concept of opportunity cost we wanted to explain to you in this class. So let me just simply summarize what we mean, what we discuss. First, know that opportunity cost is the concept used to explain, the production possibility curve is the concept used to explain the opportunity cost. Put that and bear it in mind. And also know that the production possibility curve is a graph. And this graph indicates the combination of two goods. So when you sacrifice producing a given good, you increase producing another good. And what you sacrifice will become your opportunity cost. Know that opportunity cost always deal with what is sacrificed in making a choice. And know that there are 3 position points on the production possibility curve. Points on the curve, points below the curve, and points above the curve. Put that at the back of your mind also. We say points below the curve are always attainable, but they are not efficient because all the resources are not used. But points on the curve are attainable and they are efficient because at those points all the resources are used. Points above the curve, they are efficient but not attainable because at that point our resources cannot reach there. Those are the simple reasons there. And also know that the opportunity cost can shift outward. It can also shift inward. It shifts outward when there is economic growth. It shifts inward when there is economic recession. Know that also the production possibility curve can take a one-way shift when more resources are devoted towards a particular commodity. And now, basically, this is the summary of the production possibility curve lesson we brought for you, and thank you until next time. Which means the amount to buy books and